Before we begin today's podcast, guys, instead of like a wacky skit or whatever, because a few people are sick and we got some returning hosts coming very, very soon. I can't say whom because that would ruin the surprise. Today we're just going to be doing promotional songs where, I don't know, we're going to be going over what song we're going to be promoting right here. If you guys enjoy that artist, their full song is in the description below. In the meantime, though, intro!
Growing up and growing old, don't you feel the time moving forward every morning when we rise? If only we could make it right before the sun says goodnight.
Hello everybody, welcome back to What Grinds Our Gears, the podcast owned by, ran by, and done stuff by family members, where we just do a bunch of random shit everywhere, but unfortunately this week, Hubs is ill. It's this seasonal weather, man. It's ruining everything.
It is, for sure.
And I know you guys miss Sally. Believe me, we all miss Sally. But she's in the middle of being her best self by being a fitness model. And we don't intervene in our siblings' dreams. Like, if someone would automatically be like, I want to be a porn star, we'll be like, you do that, boo-boo. You suck.
We'll buy stilettos.
You suck them dicks and fuck until the cows come home. Anyway, though, you guys know me. It's V. I'm here. I got no special introduction. I'm the master of ceremonies, apparently. Anywho, with me, of course, is my amazing big sister, the RPG queen herself, the savior of Greece, the mother to the cat child with Apollo's testicle, the savior of the Tales series, the conqueror to destroy all things Genova and Sephiroth, the liberator of all monsters in the underground, and the savior of the Delta ruins. You know her, you love her, you buy nude art from her. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Britt from Brittopia! Britt, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Hi, everyone. How's life? I'm so tired from conquering, but I'm not giving up. Not until everything is taken over.
What's next on your stream schedule?
Good lord. Well, there's still about, I think, 2 stream series episodes left of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then I will finally be done. Holy shit, I'll be done. Unless someone wants to be nice enough to gift me the new DLC, something that's going on with the game. But regardless of that, after that, we're going to actually go a little bit with variety in the mix there. We're going to have a discussion about the game itself, Assassin's Creed, me and the mods, and then just kind of go from there. Otherwise, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we could do. Frickin' couldn't even be story either. There could be Crash Bandicoot or Spyro or The Evil Within or I don't know, man. I'm letting my viewers decide on that one this time, but we'll see.
I thought you were also going to be saying you're waiting for the announced DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 dropping soon.
What? I didn't even know about this.
It was announced today, 10 hours ago. Like, they're saying,
wow,
we got DLC coming. I'm like, bruh, why you do this, though?
Right? Anything to make that extra money. See, I swear, they waited 14 years to make the perfect move of microtransactions. Good lord. Assassin's Creed Odyssey already had little bits of microtransactions that you can have in the game, but you can get all of it if you actually put the hours in it. Believe me, there's already 100 hours on that stupid game that I already put in. So it's like, they waited for the perfect moment to do this. Why, V? Why?
We will get into that at one point, but we need more of our siblings here so it can be a full discussion.
That would be amazing. Those assholes. Just kidding.
But today, because Avengers Endgame apparently has one of their fans in China hospitalized from crying because, oh my god, so emotional. Oh. I mean, I already saw the movie because I accidentally got an advanced screening ticket with the press. I'll go over that in a future video in June for me doing some pre-recordings for May. It's not important. But today, since I don't really want to do a lot of stressful topics, and Britt, of course, is one of those people that's like, I'm too chill for overly saturated stuff.
Hell yeah.
We're just gonna go with something mild and talk about how fandoms truly are in the grand spectrum. Like, Britt, I know you're not really keeping up with like the Persona 5 fandom that's been sweeping the nation, along with the stuff that Atlas is doing for Catherine.
Oh yeah, I saw that too, Catherine 2. Which what's funny is that I'm a big Atlas fan, but I'm not very good at keeping up to date with stuff. Like, I've only played Persona 3 and Catherine, and that Odin Sphere, I think, is what they made too. But anyway, yeah.
So, the thing with Catherine, there's the remake that they're doing where there's also a third Catherine, because it wasn't confusing enough. Where the original controversy was they were afraid that the main character, yes, I know his name, I'm not saying his fucking name because his name irritates me because of the relation to me, where they automatically assumed before the main trailers that we have today that he was against dating a trans woman. Forgetting that Erica is a trans character in Catherine. And how so many people became woke when they did the good ending with the original Catherine about how the childlike guy in the main character's friend group slept with Erica. I was like, she had a dick.
Erica was cool too, so everyone was like, I don't know. People have their preferences. That's how I see it as. If you don't like dick, that's fine.
That's what I thought. But they were like, the main character just doesn't want to date a trans woman. And then with the new trailer, it's like, oh, she's an alien. Okay, then all crisis is averted. I'm like, hold up. Y'all want to jump on this woke train when it's about trans people. But in this game where you can date a succubus, a human, and now an alien, now y'all gonna be like, it's cool that he's shocked that it's an alien? I sense xenophobia.
For sure.
Y'all got all this stuff where it's like, if he's afraid of aliens, it's fine, but if it's a trans person, we gotta be woke about this. We gotta talk. Humanity, we gotta talk. Like, this is racist against aliens.
It really is, you heathens.
But that's just like one side of the Atlas fandom. This new one with Persona 5 The Royal, the brand new edition of the Persona 5 game. People are flipping the fuck out because the new playable character is exposing her thighs.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Her Phantom Thief outfit, you just see thighs with thigh-high boots where you just still see meatiness of the thighs, thinking like, she's too lewd. She got them thighs. Them thighs. She be a thought. And I'm like, guys, you are getting upset over someone having exposed thighs who is a ballerina in the game. When we see ballerinas in skin-tight leotards that expose their arms and their legs and expose a big assortment where if they had camel toe, we would see that shit in HD.
For sure.
But y'all want to flip the fuck out because Japanese teenager with thighs. It's like, you motherfucks lewd everything. I went to so many different strips in Maryland where there were conventions where I saw so many people doing lewd cosplays of every single female character on the planet, where I'm just like, is anyone here not trying to get fucked in their hotel room later by their boyfriends? But the fact that a fictional character is exposing thighs!
Them heathens. Why would they ever do such a thing? I'm just kidding.
That's
still.
where people are drawing the line on the internet, just like, how dare she have thighs?
People riot over the weirdest things, I swear. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, why? It's no big deal. Just, I don't know, appreciate it or hate it and then get on with your life, man. Not that hard.
Yeah, but then you also have for the Westerners, they're like, you're talking too much Japanese for me, sir. Fuck your Japanese. It's like, okay. Whatever, racist. We're gonna talk about, for all the people that's like, if you're not talking about Avengers Endgame, are you trying to be one of those heathens that says that comic book movies have no preference in this modern day society of cinema? Cause I do say, sir, that there is a market for comic book heroes in our cinemas. Okay, to all y'all Westerners out there that want to be all these woke nerds out there, let's talk Brie Larson for a minute. And about how everyone on the internet wants to talk so much shit about Brie Larson and all of her stuff and promotional things. Of her latest movie on Netflix, of the Unicorn Store, of her apparently being too cocky about her character of Captain Marvel in the cinematic universe. Let's talk about how everyone wants to be like, she's a bitch!
What a way to put it, yes.
She says that she's stronger than one of the Chris's that plays Thor. She's a bitch! She wants to woman-splain things. She's a thought! She wants to be woke. Burn her at the stake! Listen, guys, I'm just like any other man. I grew up with comics. Mostly they were Japanese comics, because I didn't get American comics until later on in life, but I had comics. I too know what it's like to want things to be as you imagined it. I think we all do. Like, if Britt all of a sudden heard that they were making a live-action movie about Devil May Cry, she, along with any other fan out there, would be like, can they make this accurate, though?
For sure. Because you know how they are nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Try to switch things up all nice and perfect, and it's like, it's not perfect, you're ruining it. It's like,
So...
need to hire a better cast or something.
Right, so we understand you guys want all this sort of stuff, but humor me on this. How do you know you'll have perfection if you don't shut the fuck up to watch it unfold?
Exactly.
I say this because I've been an advocate for anything involving Netflix's whole thing when they had the contract with Disney to make their own cinematic universe. I enjoyed Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist. But every fandom that was along with Marvel was just like, Luke Cage was boring because black people were changing up willy-nilly, and that's not how it's supposed to be for a good story. Really? You mean like how your movies with white heroes traded up a bunch of stuff? Where we didn't have Red Skull for your white superhero Captain America, and then we had to have him fight the government where if it was any other character, they'd be labeled crazy. But to have a black character have multiple black enemies that had ties to things that were important to him were a stretch and made it boring. That is the best that fans had. And then Iron Fist. Oh, Finn Jones, when he came off of Game of Thrones, is so lame. He's totally not what we wanted. We wanted an Asian American to play this white character that's been white for decades. I understand you guys want to be super woke. I get that. And I know you guys want more diversity to make minorities like myself happy. But I will say this to a lot of people before we move on to the next fandom. We don't need recoloring to be happy. We need representation like what made every black person in America happy to see Black Panther. Iron Fist is a white guy that was raised by Asians to become a superhero. That shows that you can make a white character that's appreciative of minorities since his best friend without having to be that I have a black friend excuse. Being raised by minorities, having a minority best friend, dating a minority for a number of comics before people get up in an outrage because white people shouldn't be dating this and the third thing, because I do my research. I know certain people did have problems with a white superhero dating a black superheroine. So, pump your fucking brakes about all this stuff because I see trends. I study them. I am a journalist by trade because I do this shit. I also write my own shit and produce it. Britt has talked to me on a huge basis, so my siblings do know that I do this. I hear every single bit of this. But the fact that fans everywhere want to act like their whole input to change history to be the most woke culture is what makes the entertainment industry that I love and thrive in to be the joke that it is today.
He's not wrong.
So, for the love of God, if you guys truly do love your fandoms in this whole Marvel branch of what we're talking about, please, for the love of God, shut the fuck up long enough to see stuff unfold, because you make yourselves look like utter jokes.
It's pretty ridiculous, I'll agree. Yes.
Anyway, because you Westerners bore me, we're gonna go into the Capcom department. Made in Japan. We're back at it, baby. So, this is something that you and I, Britt, have always argued about. Devil May Cry versus DMC Devil May Cry.
We don't even need to talk about this.
But we do.
Okay.
Because Devil May Cry 5 has made a lot of arguments where fans are like, if they could have done this, why even make DMC in the first place?
I still believe that the reboot was necessary for them to realize this. Because look back at the history of the first 4, obviously. Like, the first 2 are trash. The third one is where the fandom came out from the grave and was like, oh my god, Dante's so hot, and this is so Japanese anime-esque. I love it. And then they came out with the anime. Actually, I don't know what the order is for those, but then they had to come out with the reboot to show everyone, like, hey, this is what the mechanics could be if you wanted it. This is what the story could be if you wanted it. But no, everyone wanted to throw a fit that Dante had black hair. That was like one of the biggest arguments, and everyone says the game is trash and the story's trash. It, like, if it didn't have the Devil May Cry name to it, and if it wasn't presented as a Devil May Cry game, I'm sure people would have loved it. I've already met people too that would say, you know, I thought I would hate this game, but I actually really like this game too. And I was like, yeah, that's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make here. And then of course Devil May Cry 5 comes out, and it's like, okay, this is basically the reboot, but with the original story. But they still messed up on everyone's faces, kind of thing. Like, the Devil May Cry fandom is never happy about anything. And it's like, why can't you just appreciate that there's this halfling person trying to get rid of demons, Demon Hunter, because that was the big old fab back in the day when the third one came out. Because what other stuff was there? There was Inuyasha. There was, I can't think of any others right now. But you know what I mean, people. You know what I mean. Anyway. V, you can go ahead and talk now.
I mean, my problem with the reboot DMC was, one, Dante looked like a black-haired cokehead.
In the trailer, if you like, I don't know. I've played the game 1,000 times. I have probably the most hours on it out of other hack and slash games and stuff. And like, he really, they like filled out his face. If you compared him to his first one, he actually looks more like his voice actor now in that game. But he still kind of looks like he's done some stuff in a way. But I feel like that's how they wanted to present him. He's very much still young. Who knows? They don't clarify what his age is in the story, but I'm thinking he might be between 18 and 23, or maybe a little older than that. But
I would
just
say
think,
that,
like,
yeah,
like. But in the trailer, he definitely did look like a cokehead, like, for sure. I'll
like,
agree with that.
that's what just stopped me, where it's like, when I played the actual game, I'm like, did he get to rehab, though?
Oh, yeah. Like, they went with the same, like, the idea of this, like, well, no, he's not really scrawny. He's got some muscle on him. Anyway, I might have a crush
He's like my body build, though, where it's like, people see that I'm thin, but when they see me actually lift, like, I have one friend of mine that weighed in at, like, 210 pounds. I was able to lift him from his ankles up and carry him at least halfway across this campus we were just walking across. They were just like, how big are you, dude? Like 210? He's like, and you weigh how much? I was like, well, back then I was like maybe 120 pounds dry.
Maybe. Just kidding.
Maybe. I don't know. So that's basically farmer skinny, where you can look thin, but you pack a wallop in strength.
Yeah.
So I had no problem of like the physique thing. It's just every single time I be playing the game, because the story, I had nothing really to talk about, because make Dante go from a Cambrian into a Nephilim. It's like, okay, whatever. Half angel, half demon. That's something, I guess.
Yeah, for the story itself, it fits with the story itself, I would say. It's not like the original, where he's half human, half demon. But, I mean, they put in the angel because that is what the other half of his abilities are for the combat and stuff. It's not so much of, you know, the backstory they focused on. They try to focus more on the mechanics and deliverance, I suppose.
Which is good if you're just a gameplay person, but the ultimate problem, since I'm a story guy, was the story.
Yeah. Yeah, even the story, like, even when I was, when I played through the cutscenes and all that stuff, I was like, hey, this is a little bit different, but I mean, that's the point of a reboot, is that it's a retelling of a story through someone else's eyes, of course, but it's not entirely the same as the previous. Although I kind of enjoyed having the angel powers. Whether if he was half human or half angel was really no concern of mine, story-wise. It's more of like, is it still the Dante who is cocky, who has these, like, really unintended jokes you don't need, but it happens, and has that humanity sort of background feeling, like questioning his humanity, because that's what Dante... It didn't really point it out in the third one, but I mean, they did make it a point to where Dante lost a brother, and they were questioning his feelings about it. And it's the same with the DMC reboot Dante, or Dino, everyone calls him, which I think is kind of annoying. But because he's not the real Dante. But it's more of like, that's exactly who he showed. Dude, oh my god. So, I remember talking to my husband about this game too, telling him like, people hate this game. He's played it. I don't think he's finished it though. But he's played the game, and when I tell him like, yeah, people are upset that this Dante is not the same Dante, and he, even an outsider of the fandom, says, no, this is the actual, like, no, he totally can be another Dante if they're both cocky like this. And I'm like, yeah, the reboot Dante may not have as clever jokes because it's more of profanity in it, but he's still making the same kind of remarks as the Dante we know now. People just want to turn a blind eye to it, I feel, and not see that there is a bit of a similarity. But I mean, that's just how everyone is, I suppose. Yeah. So I can't control that.
So ultimately, no matter how you slice it, Capcom, your division in the Devil May Cry branch is permanently fucked.
You need to fix it, Capcom. You need to fix it.
Because no one is fucking happy. Even with the ending of Devil May Cry 5, where we also get the stuff that confirms some fan theories. I can't say what they are because the game is still technically too new in the eyes of the populace.
Yeah.
But, even with all that shit aside, yeah, it's still not making people happy because now they're just like, but if they're there, what are we gonna have for 6? And what happened to Lucia in Devil May Cry 2? She never showed back up.
I was gonna say, she wasn't even, like, real. I mean, that game's been out forever, but I mean, she was, what, artificial intelligence? Not artificial intelligence, but she was artificial, was from what I remembered-ish. It's been a while.
It's been so long since I played 2. Like, if we had Casey here, since he marathoned the games in preparation, he'd probably let us know, but for right now, it's like, I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But we need a good reminder, honestly.
So, yeah, that would be Capcom for at least that part for now. We'll get back to you at some point, Capcom. Because there's still the Mega Man debate that's still going on.
Oh, good lord. I'm not even a part of that fandom, and I already have a feeling it's going to go down.
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't want to know.
So, there was another thing that was right. Ever since January happened with the most sold out game of 2019, I've heard the same exact shit from every fucking person. That Kingdom Hearts 3 is as bad as Final Fantasy 15.
So what people really say?
Like, this is how people compared Final Fantasy 15 of, it's too unfinished. They didn't give us what we wanted. We demanded this for so long, and now that we've gotten what we've been crying for, it doesn't have what we wanted. We have missing story elements. We're missing all this, that, and the third thing. The main character sucks. The dialogue sucks. The script is terrible. And now it's transferring over to Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm just sitting in my chair just like, you guys do realize that, A, all the demands that you guys wanted for a story that you missed is why there was delays. Second, the reason that certain stuff has been pushed to where they are delayed now is because as a programmer, as well as a story writer, when you're trying to experiment with an engine, no matter how old or new it is, it takes some time to get used to it for a brand new team. Because if you guys don't know it or not, Square is really not a friendly company to work for. They go through several teams each year. They just don't document it.
Right, because that would look like bad light on them.
Yeah. And thirdly, the game itself is unfinished because the moment the original trailer dropped 5 years before stuff kicked off for E3 last year, everyone was demanding things, and even the fandoms that were making all these assumption videos, trying to get all this and the third thing done, putting more and more pressure on these different teams that just want to do stuff with Final Fantasy 15 at the same time. Here is where I gotta put my foot down as a business person, because this will kill your product. Overstated demand. Now I know for certain fans they're just like, but we've been waiting 14 years for this thing to occur. Don't our feelings matter in this equation? We've been waiting ever since the first game came out 18 years ago for Japan. And for us it was 17 years ever since the first game. Guys, me and Britt know how you feel. We've waited for this game. Britt has made an OC because of these games.
Oh, yeah.
Bana is a giant troll, and I love it.
I love her.
I tried to make a Kingdom Hearts month because of this franchise. We understand. But personally, on a business side of things, companies do in fact listen. In this new modern age where social media sites, fan videos and whatnot, you guys may think that no one is listening and paying attention. In this new modern age where YouTube is probably the most used search engine for everything, companies do in fact spy on what fans do to make what they feel like is the best product. That's why we have the remastered stuff that's going on to multiple platforms, like how for Final Fantasy's whole entire catalog is being transferred over to Xbox for the Xbox One, because it wants to become multi-platformed. I'm also, again, sorry, Britt, that you have to now decide between Steam and your Xbox.
I know. It's a sad, cruel world.
Right? So
anyway, I'll get over it.
Yeah. But the fact that so many people want to put so much pressure on a single team, that even the stuff that I know from the company is an awful, awful thing that they put their creative team behind, makes their job even worse off, to where you can't get the nice things that you wanted. The reason Final Fantasy 15 was pushed off to be delayed was only to give us at least, I wouldn't even say half of the story. Now, as of episode Arden, we only have at least 75% of the full story that was originally scheduled for the game proper. And now, transferring over to Kingdom Hearts 3, now that's 2019, and everyone wants to talk about how Sora has not grown up a single day, how everything is wrong with the timeline, how things should definitely be changing, and how the scripting doesn't feel right. Guys, I can tell you, yes, the script isn't right because this is one of 17,000 drafts that was leaked not only from team members that worked for Square, but from people in the industry that were comparing notes. This is just one of the scripts. Not one of the best ones, but the one that fans would just clamor for to get the answers that they demanded.
See what happens when you get needy people? Shit like this happens.
Not only that, but a lot of cut worlds, cut budgets, family members not being able to see each other for months on end. Labor matters in the gaming industry. Coding just doesn't happen with like a snap of your fingers to just make something magical. That'd be like if I were to say to Britt, I need to get an exact replica portrait of, I would say, some squid person standing on top of Tokyo where everything is finite detailed, where you can see tiny people and even make out faces, but have the major perspective on this squid person, and every building needs to be detailed, and I need it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
That is what I can't stand from the fandom now about how they're just reacting from all the stuff that they're now getting of. Now there's critical mode, now there's stuff where you do all the stuff with the lucky emblems, and now we have DLC, which you're gonna bitch about because microtransactions, which wouldn't have been a factor if you waited and let them do the finished product. Frankly, I don't care, because Shreeves would have been correct if they waited until 2020 to drop it, and I would have been happy, because a lot of the stuff that people wanted to propose actually made sense. Like A Bug's Life world could have been made. We could have had Final Fantasy worlds actually implemented into the main story, which was scrapped from one of the scripts.
They own it too, so it's like, why not? Hell, Kingdom Hearts 2 is all full of Final Fantasy characters, and that's what everyone loved about it. But no, people wanted to be freaking assholes about it. It's ridiculous.
So, I know this is like a podcast of me on my soapbox, but guys, you gotta understand, I'm getting older and I'm starting to run my own business. And you also gotta remember, Britt is an artist where she has to do her own business. We can't be teenagers anymore and just be like, we're bitching and moaning. We gotta think like adults every now and again. And I'm gonna pause. Britt, you can have the floor on this. I need a pause.
Okay. So, you know what I just don't get is that people want to fight about the weirdest, tidbittiest details about certain things and make an argument about it. And, I mean, it goes the same for DMC, it goes the same for Kingdom Hearts, it goes the same for basically any game that's not finished until they have to make microtransactions and DLCs for these people, because you guys are demanding it before they can even work on it. It's the same concept as, let's say I started up a project on a Kickstarter or something, and I need donations or money to start it up. This is like the same concept. They don't have what they need to make the demands that you want. You know, it just doesn't make any sense why you're going to ask for one thing, you're going to get it-ish, and then you're going to be mad that you didn't help out. It's like asking for candy at the bank and you're like 50 years old. You know they're not going to give you one. It's like for the kids. But still, that's what they're trying to aim for. They're trying to tell you that we need support. We need actual fan support to, like, you know, get this thing that you guys want so bad. It's like, just because they're possibly a AAA company doesn't mean that they always go through the same thing. I don't know how it is in the business for video games with their developers and their producers and all. Things have changed. They don't have these full-time people anymore. They basically hire these people as commission, pay them for whatever work they do, and then send them on their way. And that's how they want to see it as, like, you know, the higher up executives and stuff. But you got to think about the freaking developers and the artists that put their time and work into the game to make sure that the mechanics are right, to make sure the animation is right, to make sure it's functional for other gamers or other viewers, however they want to put it. And I don't know. To me, it's just a load of horseshit that people want to be all uppity about these certain things that are not done yet. It's like, yeah, it's not done because you guys demanded it. Oh, another great example. No Man's Sky.
Oh, no, not that. No, no.
I remember No Man's Sky, Watch Dogs. Those are like two of the top titles that I know for sure that I was looking forward to, but everyone else, like, as soon as it came out, it was terrible. They didn't deliver on their promises like they showed in the trailer and stuff. And that's what marketing is. They try to show you the best stuff, what is there, and then they just like turn it around because it wasn't completely developed. Now, No Man's Sky might be a whole different story because it really was terrible. I heard now that after they got some updates in it, it's gotten a little better, but it's basically like Subnautica in space or some shit like that. I don't know. And same with Watch Dogs. When Watch Dogs came out, everyone was very like, well, before it came out, everyone was very like, oh, there's going to be like a new progression in video games. It's going to be so cool. It's basically, and then it comes out and it's basically Assassin's Creed modern day, which I really like Watch Dogs personally myself because
Watch Dogs is fun.
It is fun. I haven't played the second one though. I want to play the second one, but people say that the main character in that one is a lot more enthusiastic and like upgoing than Aiden. Yeah, Aiden Pierce in the first one. But you know what? I like Aiden Pierce. He was cool. His character was based from his background, and that's who he was at that time during, the game. So I don't understand why people are so fixated on these characters. They're like, oh yeah, he's a boring character. It's like, no, this is who he is because of what happened to him. Like you're just not understand. Like I feel like they're just not understanding what can be. Not everyone's going to be a great person when you first meet them. Your first impression, sure, that helps you figure out who this person's going to be, but that's not going to help show or understand the development of that character. I mean, Aiden, I'm trying to remember the story like in 5 seconds in my brain right now. He went out and sought revenge for his niece. Yeah, his niece, because he felt it was his fault for what happened to her. And in a way, it kind of was. He was doing shady shit. Someone caught on to him, and they went to go scare him. And then instead, a car accident happens. Niece dies. Aiden thinks it's his fault. And there is a very big turning point for anyone who's played or who hasn't played Watch Dogs. It's a very good story. I honestly think everyone should play it. Don't criticize the driving. It's terrible. We already know this in the game. I mean, I hate driving in that game. Anyway, the point is that the way that the story gives out to you, just like any other video game, it's just about progression. And I can understand that other people wanted progression in video games too. It's the same. Move this character, do A, B, C, and D. Move on to the next A, B, C, and D. And it's like, yeah, that's how the games are. It's because we're asking for so much demand immediately that we can't think of a new, innovative development for these games. So next time you want to bitch about a game not being as great as you hope for, just remember that you asked for this. You didn't want to wait. You wanted to frickin' literally have the game in front of you in 5 minutes. Just think about it. Think about it, people. You can't make good chicken noodle soup if you overcook the noodles, right? So, anyway, I'm done with my rant.
I don't know why, but that also reminded me of... We're gonna go from Japan, so you guys can stop being like, you fucking weebs. And I'm like, well, whatever. You guys play this shit too. Don't act like you're any different.
Right? It's a current meme right now too, I believe.
We
Weeb
are
to
gonna...
a weeb.
We are gonna go to the northern cousin of the United States of Canada. We're going to be talking first about Ubisoft and about the Assassin's Creed fandom.
Fandom is so torn up too. Every fandom sucks. That's all there is to it. Every fandom sucks.
This is literally my conversation, though, with any Assassin's Creed fan. And Britt, stop me if you've heard this before.
Okay. Will do.
Assassin's Creed 2 is the best out of all of the Assassin's Creed games.
Oh my god, I've heard. Yes. Everyone says it.
And Assassin's Creed
It was a really
3
good game, though, by the way.
is where the franchise dies.
Assassin's Creed 3. Honestly, I thought it was Revelations. But, I mean, it wrapped it up, so that's why no one picks it. Wrapped up the whole story for Desmond and Altair and Ezio, but I feel like the third one is where you could feel it dying. Like, I don't know. That's how I felt. The third one I haven't even played yet, but I remember seeing the first cutscene, and my mind was fucking blown, because I was like, no way, we're playing as this guy, but really it's insert this spoiler. I was like, no way, I gotta play it. Reminded me, I should play it. Maybe that should be my next stream series.
Do it.
Assassin's Creed 3. Because I wanted to play as Conway.
And then Assassin's Creed 4 is where the series is reborn for a brief time. Because pirates.
Oh yeah, Black Flag. See, everyone says that one's a good game too, and I'm like, I heard it's more naval fighting, and if anyone knows me and my history of driving boats in my games, not the best.
There's a running gag of like, I have my will and testament written right now, and my life insurance has just been signed. Let's do this.
Yeah, you don't let me drive a boat, by the way, people. Don't let me drive a boat. Come to my streams, by the way. I stream on Twitch.
It's always in the description below, guys.
Woo!
But even still, though, the fandom for Assassin's Creed, you guys are literally some of the worst people I have ever seen with your own franchise.
It's pretty bad.
Like, I love the Ezio trilogy because I love Italy. I love a lot of stuff that goes with Italy. I even loved it when he went to Istanbul because Turkish history is kind of fascinating.
It is.
It used to be no, actually now it's known as Constantinople, but it's nobody's business but the Turks. Points to anyone that knows that song.
I don't get any points because I don't know.
Still though, you guys literally are like, Assassin's Creed 3 is when the franchise dies, cause it's when Desmond is at his last stand and kills himself for the entire franchise. And now we have nothing. And it's like, are you sure you have nothing? Because 4 tried to do something to revive it, where you guys really seem to clamor for that. But oh wait, nope, that goes out the window when Unity and Syndicate show up, to where they're the dark period of the games.
It's like, wasn't the game just dark overall anyway? Like, that's, I don't, people.
And then, apparently, it's saved once again when Assassin's Creed Origins and Assassin's Creed Odyssey are born.
Odyssey's really fun, by the way, people. I suggest checking it out. Not trying to promote it. They don't freaking pay me for this, but...
If Ubisoft was paying us, Britt, they'd just be like, you are literally talking shit about the people that buy our games. It's like, you guys should really be talking shit about them, be honest.
He's not wrong.
But this is literally what is laying in front of you guys. You literally have all of these games set in front of you. You want to love the first one, and even the spin-off that it had on the PSP. Not that bad of a continuation for Altair, even though he wasn't my favorite assassin. Then, when it goes to the Ezio trilogy, everyone is like, I'm fitting the nut. It's like, weird flex, okay.
I'm just realizing that it's the whole Devil May Cry, it's Dante all over again.
It's like Capcom and Ubisoft are like, you know, I really do not like how any of our fans are treating my product. You're having a problem. We are trying to make this amazing thing. I don't know why the founder for Capcom is Russian, don't mind me. But I keep hearing everyone trying to say that when Ninja Theory took our prized possession of Devil May Cry, they all of a sudden cried like pussies. At least while you're standing there, you at least can get your profit back, since it's a license for you. Me, we have these pansy cunts that say everything we make is trash. Everything with the microtransactions is too much. Everything that we're trying to present is kaput. I can't stand these fans. So not next games, first is ancient Egypt, next Greece. Where you can be an oily woman with a bigger dick than the man.
Dude, she really does. I'm gonna figure out this theory someday. She does. Because there's no way in hell you can't imagine Cassandra without a dick, honestly. It's like, yeah, she's woman. She's woman. But she's no, I don't believe anyone says.
The fact that I'm able to do this and Aaron isn't here is a travesty.
It is. Them assholes. Stop having a real life. Come join us.
But he's sick, you know this.
I don't care. What is this sickness you speak of? I have a scratchy throat, and I'm here. Pussy. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Aaron. I love you.
But then, aside from Ubisoft, there's also its weird cousin, Quantic Dream.
See, I don't even know the cousin, so you're gonna have to enlighten me here.
Now, a lot of people forget that Quantic Dream is technically a French-Canadian hybrid monstrosity that gave us the games of Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Also, something involving the name Fahrenheit / Indigo Prophecy, but those two games, I'm like, I don't fucking care at this moment. What I want to know from fandoms, though, is why is every single person that isn't a minority all of a sudden acting like it's super woke for Detroit Become Human out of all the games? Because I've heard more white players talk about how it's weird that they're doing this stuff about segregation and civil rights. And I'm like, you guys do know if you talk to a minority, you'd know that both of those things together don't really make sense when you just play the games where it's like, one side is mad that androids are taking their jobs, but they gotta be on the back of their bus and have to have identification markers. Meaning they have no freedom, but you're making them work your jobs.
It's like that whole argument about, you know, in real life, Americans saying that minorities are taking jobs. It's like, yeah, because you don't want them. Like, what? Do you really want to be, I don't know, a gas station clerk? I don't think so.
Or
taking
do you want
jobs.
Or do you want to landscape your own lawn now? Is that what you guys are trying to do? Like, this is the whole stupidity that I'm all of a sudden looking at, because the creator, David Cage, was like, I took notes from black people in America, and even black people in good old Canada, about how they are mistreated, and how the civil rights movement was their greatest achievement, and how I wanted to reflect that in this new video game. And I'm like, that's nice, but you're a white guy making this story. Do you not see how this is kind of an issue? I do not understand this whole race problem.
Yeah.
I need to just double check something, because as you guys know, this is the season where I have like my passes to say the one word that no one else on this show can say. I'm trying to check to see how many I got left.
Pretty sure it's a good handful. Didn't Clancy rewrite you a one?
No, we're not even at the season finale yet. We got like
Oh god.
We got like a couple episodes left before then.
Oh shit.
I got 2 left.
Clancy lied to me then. That asshole. Knew I should have never ate that pound cake.
You really should not have. But yeah, I got 2 left to say the word that only I can say, that no one else can say as of yet.
I could say nugget.
Yeah, you can say nugget or ninja, or as the internet says, like, my nibba. And I'm like, yo,
Nibba?
what now?
What?
My nibba. What? What the hell is this?
In a white school, like, happened to say, because he has that, like, 2 black friends that only hang out with him because he has, like, Doritos or some shit. I don't know. That's, wow.
I'm in the cafeteria. I'm hanging with my nibbles. What the hell did you say? What? I said nibbles.
It sounds like nipples. It's something an 8-year-old would totally say, I think. Maybe because I'm 8 years old, but well.
I
Yeah.
thought you were part of the 9-year-old army for PewDiePie.
No, I'm younger. I'm underage. I'm gonna get in trouble now.
Anyway. So
PewDiePie, just pay me, please. I love you.
So, whenever I'm trying to hear people say this whole super woke shit about the games, it's like, I appreciate you guys trying to fight on the behalf of all minorities. Really, I do. It just took you guys several hundred years to get to finally do this, but it's appreciative nonetheless. But here's my thing with how the fandom treats this game to be their whole woke message. I despise this. It's kind of like being that one black person in the theater with a room full of white people watching 12 Years a Slave. You dig? Like, everyone's just gonna be like, I am so sorry. If only I could go back in time and change this for you. It's like, change what? That I paid $8 for popcorn? Yes. Movie theaters are expensive. My, what's that word you guys are saying? My nibble? Yeah, my nibble.
You are all grounded forever saying that word, by the way. I'm your new mom. It's like, nah, sweetie, you can't say that word.
That's just so...
Why? Because you're ignorant.
You're just ignorant as fuck. But you guys gotta stop with this whole we need to be woke message in gaming. Cause, hand to God, even though I'm not religious, hand to God, I enjoyed Detroit Become Human. Yes, my wife has a problem with it because I did the boat ending. It's now permanently banned in my marriage and I can no longer play it.
V. What? Oh, then again, I need to watch a play. So, no, anyway.
I gave you like the playlist, right?
Hey, you gave me the Final Fantasy 15 playlist.
I'll
but
give
yeah.
you the playlist.
You have another playlist to give me.
Yeah,
God damn it.
you can
Fucking
just put it on
homework.
in the background when you're drawing or something.
There, I threw it.
Woo!
It's there.
Woo! But the thing of it is though, guys, is that we understand our history. Hell, my history is right now is very toxic due to some real life events going on in America. I don't want to get into my heritage on that front, but from where I stand, from being black, Hispanic, Asian, Middle Eastern, and every other minority under the rainbow, I understand my history and the struggle. I understand the pain that goes on in my very bloodline. I get why so many people want to try and say this and the third thing as apologies, but here's the thing. I don't want an apology, and I can tell you this. Other minorities don't want an apology. They just want things to be better instead of making woke shit. That's my main issue with you Quantic Dream fandoms, where you want to take this one game that was one of the most talked about games of 2018, even still where people want to play this game now and make all the jokes, the memes, the quotes, the gay Tumblr post, the doujinshi shit, all this and the third thing. I understand. But we don't want you guys to make woke media. We want a better society. We want stuff where it's not policemen taking simple kids going up to policemen about their brutalities, knock them on the ground like it's a bouncy ball, and then arrest them for just trying to point them out on their bullshit. We want people to stop building borders about people just trying to escape from terrible conditions to find some refuge in some country somewhere. We want people to stop with hate speeches, racial slurs, and just acting like they're so superior because of their own complexion. Stop making woke shit and just do better.
He's not wrong, everyone. Because it's really annoying. It just is. Like, why? You know?
Like, what's this gonna do? Like, you guys gonna make a million different 12 Years a Slave type medias now to just make people super woke? Yeah, that's gonna work very well for about 3 months. Then we back to all of a sudden someone calling me the N-word on the street and then hoping that they hit me to go to jail. Because that's the new form of slavery. I don't need woke media. I just need the world to do better. I know it's a lot to ask because a majority of you guys out there, even if you do watch this podcast and are secretly racist, are dicks. I know that's a huge thing to ask for. But just doing good enough to where we can work towards just erasing racism by the time that I have 5 times great grandkids would be enough. That is all I'm asking at this point. Not a lot, just at least enough to be like, we're gonna stop calling people the N-word. And we're gonna stop trying to make racist media. At least that small amount of a gesture would be enough to make me be like, okay, there's progress. But to have a bunch of people in a single fandom made by a white Frenchman in Canada that was crazy enough to try and cut off one of his own fingers on a bet or a dare, or whatever the fucking stupid ass story it was, before reattaching it himself, isn't what is needed.
He's right, everyone.
Like, just straight the fuck up. And this isn't even me being serious. This is me just being as laid back as ever, pointing out how I honestly feel. If you guys want me to be serious, wait till I bring back my editorial series.
You'll all be in it for now.
But now for the final fandom, I'm just thinking outside the box, back to the good old US of A for all of you Westerners out there, just like, I keep hearing all this and all you had for us was that Marvel shit. I'm more of a DC fan because I love jerking off Superman until he jizzes in my eye, thank you. Because it tastes like apple pie.
Wait, does it? I mean, what? I'm down for some apple pie. You know, if they mess up on your order, McDonald's will just give you a free apple pie.
Trudeau.
That's what they do. That's what they do with me all the time. So basically, I am getting jizzed in the eye by Superman.
The fandom I want to talk to you guys about is, of course, the biggest cult of them all. Disney.
Possibly, probably the worst one to ever talk about.
Now,
it makes no sense.
Now, I know a lot of you guys want to be like, Disney is the greatest thing to ever hit the market. Disney is God. Disney is everything. Disney is life. Disney gave me a baby. Disney was there at my wedding. Disney gave me AIDS. Disney murdered my family. Disney gave me 4 testicles. Disney gave me a brain. Disney sold my soul to Satan in order to give me this roller skate. Disney did all this stuff to give me a new soul in the form of a mouse. Disney ripped my own heart out and left me to die. Disney paid for my funeral. Disney is fucking my wife while I'm dead. Holy shit, Disney is my cult leader.
Does everyone need to like a talking to about this? Because that's... we need to have a sit down, everyone.
As you guys can tell, I have no love for Disney. But this is just something for like every single person I've heard is like, Disney owns my childhood and it's done no wrong for me whatsoever.
It's like you people need to rewatch the Disney movies all over again.
You guys need to look back into the Disney history.
For sure. Criminy. It's not all perfect rainbows and shit.
Walt Disney...
You only think so because it's what you're attached to. Like, that's how people see it.
With rainbow shades, yeah, but, to all of you guys that have been living under a rock for, I would say, the last several decades, you all should know by now that Walt Disney himself, as well as his brother Roy and his family in general, even if they keep it a secret, were raised by white supremacists. Walt Disney being, of course, a huge proponent of white supremacy, and even during World War II was on the side of Hitler. Which is why when you see the infamous Donald Duck cartoon of him praising Hitler, that was Walt Disney inserting himself, saying that he wants every single man, woman, and child that is white to be part of the Aryan race and wipe out anyone that isn't blonde-haired and blue-eyed. That's not me reading into anything. That's literally facts. Walt Disney went on record to say that he supported Hitler.
And everyone just turns a blind eye to it.
I mean, people are just like, but what about Warner Bros? They were racist. Yeah, because they own up to that shit. They had a mammy character in Tom and Jerry for decades.
Oh yeah, I remember her. I liked her.
They gave Tom blackface in one cartoon. They made Bugs Bunny wear blackface in one cartoon and was chased by a black guy who had a weakness for ice. They made big-lipped Sambo characters. They'll own up to it, though.
They made fun of tranny jokes, too, everyone, by the way.
They even made the whole slap-a-jap stuff, and with Yellowface. I'm not saying Walt Disney was like the only racist. I'm admitting Warner Bros. Are too. The only difference is the Disney Foundation is trying to cover up all the racism that Walt was so happy to make. Warner Bros. Is just like, you want to see our racist history? Open the vault. But
there she blows.
But I'm not here to talk about Walt's whole racism and his poor practices. Like how the Mary Poppins movie wasn't supposed to have any of the elements, and the writer of the Mary Poppins book actually did not want Walt to ruin her vision and was ready to take him to court for those actions. Which was also a movie that was whitewashed by the Disney execs to make her soften up and accept the film as is. Even though she despised the whole fucking thing. You guys are fucking
watch that
stupid.
movie now. Saving Mr. Banks, I believe.
Saving Mr. Banks, yes. Yeah. Disregarding that. Disregarding all the things about how Walt Disney's original stuff of Disney World and Disneyland were strictly banning any single person that was not a white person to come in there. disregarding how he took a novel made by an Indian writer that was oppressed and subliminally brainwashed into saying that white supremacy in India is good in a follow-up book after writing the Jungle Book. Disregarding all of that stuff for a moment. You guys want to believe that Disney is the end-all be-all creation of life without really realizing that a lot of the culture that you're building yourself around for yourself and your kids is built up on a series of lies. And I say this because of one infamous case from Disney that still haunts me to look into as a critic. Poor little Orlando Brown from That's So Raven.
Oh, Brown. Which one was he again?
Eddie.
Ah, yeah. No one ever talks about him anymore. Makes me sad.
He's been in jail 3 times. Lost out on a record deal.
Damn.
Has done a copious amount of drugs. Was banned from Disney Channel to be in Raven's home. Has lizard eyes now. And has literally had bounty hunters after him twice. After leaving Disney permanently.
What a life.
Disregarding the fact that after years of so many things being kept quiet, where Nickelodeon creators are coming out as these sexual predators and whatnot, don't you guys think it's a little weird that certain Disney stars turned out so fucked up?
Lindsay Lohan, frickin' what's her face? I don't remember her name because it wasn't important.
Demi Lovato or...
Yeah, that one.
I was gonna say either Demi Lovato or Lindsay McGuire, whatever her real last name was.
Hilary Duff isn't messed up. She's actually doing shit now.
Oh, that's good. Shia LaBeouf.
It's because I like her though, so that's a different story. But yeah, Shia LaBeouf, he's a fucking meme. I mean, that's not bad-ish, but still, like, something to write down in the books.
And still, worst of all for me, Orlando Brown. So many cases of some fucked up kids, all from this one company. It's probably some of the most evil thing I've ever looked into, and the fandom alone is just like, oh, well, maybe it's just something that they've done with their own life choices and whatnot. Maybe it's just some stuff that if Disney were to help them out, they'd be right back on their feet. And guys, we're not children. Life isn't that simple.
If only it were. But it's not.
You can't just go up to people and be like, since you left this company, just go back to them and they'll fix up everything. We don't know what happened behind closed doors. People are still trying to figure out what happened to Dave Chappelle with him in Comedy Central. And that's been years. These companies don't play. And Disney's one of the worst. And that's even disregarding the film talent that they have, like Johnny Depp. Poor fucking Johnny Depp.
He's been in a lot of weird movies lately, too.
And
for the past few years.
And
sure.
He's going to be in another weird one as a college professor, but that's a story for another day. But, guys, in this huge fandom where you want your kids to succeed with Disney, or you want to be a part of the Disney family, or you want that Mickey Mouse money, take not even 5 hours, just 5 solid minutes. Literally take a moment to think about everything that's been going on for this entire industry, and literally look yourself dead in the face and say if you will literally work for Disney for this exact rate. Does it feel like it's worth it? If you can feel comfortable stomaching all of that, then sure, do whatever the fuck you guys want. If you can't, respect that too. But never put a single company on a pedestal like this when they want to do a stranglehold monopoly on so many different properties when they already have so much money.
It's like, think of it this way, people. Let's say there's an artist that does really good art, whatever, but it's all like white supremacy shit. Now, are you really gonna let your judge of character be like, oh, they have a lot of hate art, but their art is really good? It's like, no, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. You can't think like that. That's not right. That's what messes up this so-called society that everyone wants to be all anal about. So don't say like, oh yeah, they're a good they're like, oh yeah, we can tolerate them because of their good art. No. And don't believe those artists that say like, oh, my characters, just because I draw them that way doesn't mean it's this way. Like, there's a difference, by the way. Some people might draw, I don't know, like a horror scene, and people are going to say, oh, the artist has a kink for this. And it's like, no, sometimes depending on what that art is, it's to represent the character or the format of what it is. Not entirely what the artist is dealing with. For an artist who's making, like, you can obviously see that they drew a white person hanging a black person or Asian person or Indian person. That's racist. Like, and you can't tell me, oh, it's really good though. That's like, oh my God, no, that's not the same. They built that. They have no excuse to say that that's what they were trying to interpret on that part. Unless if it was like a comic propaganda or whatever. But it's a different story. Different story. We'll talk about that next time. Should never allow me to be on podcasts.
It's fine, Britt. It's just, I don't know. I just wanted to finally get this off my chest because, one, I couldn't really think about doing this by myself on my rant series because it's too huge and too many parts to cover. And two, I want my family to get some input on this because it matters.
It does.
Like, everyone wants to be like, politics doesn't matter because a lot of things involving government is to the hands of the people. But to also shape that is to also know what their primary interests are that shapes how those people's mentality is.
For sure.
Like, this is coming from not a business perspective, but from a parent perspective. What you absorb into your mind and soul really will paint the picture of who you will be. What you tend to tolerate and not examine or study or look into, that tends to also shape what you yourself will eventually just say is what you're comfortable being around, what you're going to do, and how you're going to handle it. And I feel like since Britt and I are both proud parents where we want to see our kids succeed in this hugely fucked up world.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a moment to just, as a parent, examine how fandoms work on a personal level to also see how that actually will shape how people's mentality can be for what they will do as future endeavors. That may sound weird to all the older people out there that have had grandkids or great-grandkids, but honestly, take those few moments to just chat with your grandkids or great-grandkids and find out what their fandoms are, look into how they interact with said fandoms, and you'll see how that whole mindset does in fact shape how they view this world, how they want to do these actions, make those decisions, and make those choices. Since it's less about just hearing the facts and figures from real-life people, where now that we're in such a hugely digital entertainment age, that's how we as people tend to absorb our new sort of opinions on how we want to do things, rather than just getting the facts and figures from people that we discern as liars. Especially since art has a much stronger hold on the minds of humanity than any sort of sweet-honeyed words that you can say as a man or a woman in a suit saying, I'm going to be the next queen of this country, or the next senator, or the next prime minister, or the next president, or the next alderman, senator, congressman, whatever position. I feel like I just had a breakthrough, and it scares me.
Be scared, V. I'm kidding. Don't.
But
Don't need Clancy to frickin' try giving you another resuscitation session again. God, that was terrible.
Oh hell no. But I don't know, Britt. What do you think? Like from what I'm throwing down. Like, what is your whole thought process on what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you couldn't be any more true, honestly, V. It's like, I don't know, just people just need to get it, I feel. Or if they can't get it, just have an understanding for it and respect it, you know? I mean, that's how I see it as.
I don't know, but man, this whole breakthrough stream, not stream podcast. God, I've been doing so much stuff on Twitch that my mind's just like everything is a stream.
Same.
Me yelling at my boss was a stream. Me putting on shorts was a stream. Me eating a salad was a stream. God, why is everything a stream? Anyway.
A stream of defeat.
Anyway, this breakthrough podcast, whatever title we're going to give it, I feel like we should just call it Fandom Mayhem. I don't know. Future V will probably come up with a name when he's just editing the music together. Whatever it is, I don't care right now. Next time, we're not going to be this much in a breakthrough type of mood, because after the last one that Aaron and I did, I've been thinking about musical groups that are just like certain big fandoms that have happened. And I kind of feel like, and follow me on this one, Britt, but don't you feel like the controversy of Devil May Cry kind of mirrors the whole weird dichotomy that is either Panic at the Disco or Paramore?
Yes. I don't know anything about Paramore, but I do know about Panic at the Disco when he came out with the Ready Set Go song. I think that's what it's called. I was like, wait, it's just Brandon. Where is everybody? But yeah.
Those two bands typically have that thing where it's just like the first two albums that you kind of hear from them aren't like the big blowout, or like those two mixtapes before they get their big record deal, and then the third one that's like the official album is the greatest of all greats. They have that series of successes. Then those two lead singers had that solo appearance that gets people like, this isn't right.
It's like that's how it is for all bands-ish, kinda. I mean, maybe not all bands, but particular bands, obviously.
But I don't know. We're gonna save all this shit for next week, because right now I'm just like, I had no idea I'd have this much of a breakthrough, because I've now officially felt like I have officially reached adulthood, Britt.
I'm sorry. Welcome.
Like, the moment you can finally dissect a bunch of stuff that you yourself as a child would have just jumped at the chance of just saying, "Nah-eh," then just running away like a little shit weasel, you're just like, you know what? I finally get it. It's a weird feeling.
It is.
I don't even know any type of funny quote that to end everything off on. We don't even have an ending. We never have an ending.
Fandoms suck. Mess up your order at McDonald's so you can get a free apple pie. It's the same as getting jizzed by Superman. That's the end. That's the end, everybody. Go home. Go home. We're all out of crackers. Actually, you don't need to go home. Just, you can't be here. Go home. Find that vibrator underneath your...
Got money on my mind every day. Take some play with mine, put it in the bag. Usually I can leave it in the past. You gon' make me have to show my ass. Ooh, I can love you till the sun comes up. Let me lay your body down. You don't even really gotta ask. I'ma love you better than the rest. Ooh, say something, say something, say something.